And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce another mentor leader. Our keynote speaker is a 4-time Grammy Award-winning artist who co-produced the original Broadway cast album of Hamilton. But you will probably recognize him as the musical director for The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, where he plays with his own band, Roots. Class of 2019, I am proud to introduce to you Questlove.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Mr. Martinez. Hey guys, how y'all doing? As he said, my name is Questlove, and I apologize in advance for not being Thundercat or someone else younger that you were expecting. Anyway, I assure you your parents are impressed right now. Anyway. I kind of wanted to start by saying that in prepping this, I realized how hard these words that I'm trying to form can be. And I don't mean that it's hard to talk to you specifically, but I mean your age group, because people perch on the precipice of adulthood. It might be harder for these words to sink in. For me, it's easier to talk to other adults because we have the same experiences. It's somehow easier to talk to children because they're wide open to and they're receptive to what you have to say. But you know, young adults can be tricky. And you guys are finishing up here again, and I want to congratulate you all. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are heading off into the next chapter of your life, whether it be college, job, a career, some other path. I assume that you all know many things and that you start to organize your experiences and make them meaningful. But also remember when I was your age, a long time ago, and how in many cases the things that I thought I knew really turned out to be very different than what I ended up knowing later down the line. So convictions were firm, but they were also sort of evaporating. And I'm gonna try and keep this brief because I want my words to hit home with all of you. And that also includes your parents and your loved ones and all the underclassmen as well in the audience. As a fellow student of a creative and performing arts school, don't tell anybody, but I actually graduated high school 30 years ago yesterday, which in Philadelphia at a creative and performing arts high school. Incidentally, that was also the exact last time I had a real haircut. I couldn't fit the cap, so I had to shave my, it was horrible. Anyway, I want to leave you with some words, and I want to make this a priority in your life. So the one thing that I want to say to you is I want you all to make boredom a priority in your life. Yes, boredom. Boredom, in my opinion, is the key component to all things creative. Boredom is a special kind of silence that to me is just as effective as meditating or sleeping. I won't snore. And in 2019, it's actually extremely hard to be bored, simply because in a nanosecond, we become bored and then we start to entertain ourselves. You know, with a swipe or a thumb click, the world and this device is our oyster. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that knowledge is power, but I also believe that too much information squelches creativity. So in the future, I want you guys to pick a designated weekend in which you sit in silence and you let ideas come to you. You know, playwrights do it all the time, songwriters do it, artists do it, screenwriters do it. That's why, you know, you always hear them going up to the cabin in the woods where it's boring and silent. That's where the idea comes. So, you know, I want you guys to embrace boredom and seclusion, but don't overdo it on seclusion. I also implore you to find your tribe out there in the world. When I say find your tribe, starting movements and collectives. Movements and collectives are how revolutionary acts come forth. I'll give you guys an example. Some 25 years ago, when my own group first started, we got our record deal. We pulled a creative exile and moved to Europe. We lived in London in a 3-bedroom flat. And we got an agent and we worked any and everywhere. Sometimes it would be a bar that was only 10 people in the room. Sometimes it was, you know, 300 people in a theater meant for 4,000. But we went there to build and exercise our skills. And the records that we were making, you know, they were critically acclaimed at the time. And we constantly toured, but it was kind of a hard act to sell commercially to the mainstream. And by the time we got to our 4th album, entitled Things Fall Apart, we saw something was wrong in how we were approaching our creativity, and we quickly remedied it. And we gathered, our answer was to gather, like Noah, gather 2 of every animal or creative person. And we had these weekly jam sessions in my living room, and it wasn't easy. So we had to first convince the record label to write in a budget for a chef. And they thought we were trying to pull a fast one, but you know, nothing says getting a tribe together than free food. So I hope your cooking skills are on point. So we hired someone to make free food. And of course, the creative community came to my living room. They thought they were just getting free food and leaving, but they had another thought coming. No, we were gonna have jam sessions, songwriting sessions. We formed a community. So pretty much that album wound up being our breakthrough. And a funny thing happened as a result of those 2 years of gathering a tribe. Suddenly, 11 record deals became and formed from that jam sessions. Artists like Jill Scott or Music Soul Child and countless other luminaries from Philadelphia. They all came to fruition. And we did that in the name of community and collaboration. So I encourage you all to do the same. Find your tribe, form a community, collaborate. And then I also encourage you guys to leave your comfort zone and seek other areas of creativity. You know, for me, I myself, once I started the Tonight Show, I started seeing that comedians and chefs were just sort of on a similar creative path that musicians were on. I even wrote a book about it. I'm not trying to plug my product, but I got to. And this kind of thing happens all the time. If you look at an example of, say, singer Joni Mitchell, she took up art. Jazz god Miles Davis took up boxing. And I mean, we can look at a guy like Drake. Of course, you know Drake as an actor and singer, but he obviously has a second career as the assistant coach to the Toronto Raptors. Anywho, so there are other forms of creativity I can ramble on about. As mentioned before, the importance of mentors, the importance of experimenting, the importance of practicing. Yes, 10,000 hours of practice equals genius. I subscribe to that theory, so rigorously practice. The importance of discipline. And I would also like to express the importance of another area of creativity that I feel super crucial to you guys finding your way into the world. And I encourage you all to embrace failure. Now, in my day, failure was sort of like a shameful, unspoken 7-letter word. And I mean, we're all familiar with it. You know, you try something once or twice and self-doubt starts creeping in, and the next thing you know, you just give up. So I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. Patience is key, but failure is where you learn the lesson. And no matter how many times you have to pick up the metaphorical Jenga piece that you put together and start all over again from step one, I encourage you all, get to failing. And to all you underclassmen out there, this is not an excuse for you to fail your classes. On the contrary, I want you all to study and absorb the information and learn. But the kind of failure I'm speaking of is a kind of resilience in which you keep trying and trying and trying. You persist and you insist and you continue until you perfect it. And most people say that practice makes perfect. Other people say that perfect practice makes perfect. I don't believe in perfection, but I do believe that patience and practice leads to a powerful product. And I tell you this because I believe in you guys. Quick shout out to my friend Frida Flores. Frida, where are you at? I'm so proud of you. She's the reason why I knew of you guys. All of you, pretty much you're doing these things that I'm telling you without you even knowing it. And you're all discovering your talents and the talents of others and your limits and the limits of others. And some of you will carry these things forward into the world and in interesting and beautiful ways. And I know for a fact that I'm going to see you guys later. I'm going to see you in concert. I'm going to see you on stages. I'll see you on television and magazines, in the movies. Some of you are going to have art shows. Some of you will be in the end credits of movies. Some of you will create futuristic foods, writing, creating art. In the future, one of you will be on the stage in 2049 talking about the last time you had a haircut. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys have it already. And basically all I want you to do is go out there in the world, and I want you to explore and gather, and I want you to create and try again. I want you to fail, and I want you to try again and succeed. Make me proud. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.